weird, but it's not weird, but for anyone wondering like why this is the first time I'm reading this stuff, so it's like, I went through it and now I'm going through it, I guess you could say. So, not gonna cry. But I did cry the first time I read it. So, and so this is the surgical pathology report when they collected 219. Final diagnosis: A, B, anterior and endocervical tumor biopsies. Invasive, poorly differentiated adenocarcinoma. See comment. The comment is, all of these biopsies contain an invasive adenocarcinoma of the cervix extending from the mucosal surface to the deep cauterized biopsy edges. While some of the superficial aspects of the tumor are better differentiated, the deeper levels are poorly differentiated, with areas of sheet-like growth, high nuclear grade morphology, brisk Ki-67 staining, and significant mitotic activity. This will be funny because I didn't remember me pronouncing all these words. These areas are associated with a prominent fibroinflammatory desmoplastic reaction. Wow. While definitive evidence of vascular invasion is difficult to prove, there are foci that are suspicious for lymphatic invasion, which thankfully I did not have to have any lymph nodes removed, because anyway, immunostains were performed because of the unusual morphologic features of this tumor. The tumor cells are negative for both estrogen and progesterone receptors CEA, P53, and P16 non-diffuse pattern, while strongly positive for vimentin. The absence of CD10 and calretinin staining, according to some, helps to exclude the mesophoric variant. In the absence of non-diffuse P16 staining, this may be a non-HPV induced tumor, which could account for its non-specific immunoprofile. And then it just goes on to say, I don't know, specimen, anterior cervix, endocervical tumor, and then it says was collected 219, 16, gross description A, labeled with patient's name, anterior cervix, and received fresh, not infixative of two very irregular shaped portions of tan and pink tissue, 2.1 and 2.3 cm. In greatest dimension, the apparent ectocervix of each piece is mostly smooth, glistening in pink. The presumed resection of margin of each piece is marked with black ink. Each piece is sectioned and cemented with a larger portion of tissue in cassettes A1 and A2, and the smaller portions of tissue in A3 and A4, all embedded. Labeled with patient's name, blah, blah, blah. And then general information ordered by Kelly Schneider, my oncologist. Shout out Dr. Schneider. It's awesome-ish, I guess you could say, but she is a cancer survivor herself. So it is just nice to have a doctor who knows what it's like to go through what you're going through. I think I will make this video short and just cut it off there. But if anything, this is the first of videos. If there's anything anybody wants to know, I'm going to go into a diagnosis story because it's very important to me to make sure that women know, that everybody knows, but especially women know, that you are more likely to be misdiagnosed, you are more likely to be labeled as a hypochondriac or making it bigger than it is, or something of that nature. I mean, the first, and I'll say this again, I'll do another video, the first gynecologist I saw did not take me seriously, and he scheduled the ultrasound for 4 weeks out and was going to put me on hormones before then, in the meantime, and just totally didn't take me seriously. And if it wasn't for the amazing primary care physician I had at the time, who, I was like, I don't want to be a crazy person, and that the person that's like, something's wrong with me, and there's actually not. I don't want to ever be that person, ever, but I do have these gut feelings, and I just felt like something wasn't right. Thankfully, I went back to her and I said, what do? I don't want to be that crazy person. And she said, no, I want you to go see somebody else and that doctor, Dr. Jones, I love her so much. Women doctors, you rock. But anyway, she did the biopsy that day. She did the ultrasound that day. And in hindsight, she knew that day that there was something not right and it was not good. Now I know what that means when a doctor has that look where they're trying so hard to look like nothing's wrong. So I'll wrap up that first video, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk.